Euro 2024 is just around the corner, and to celebrate we have a brand new series called Football Hot Takes. And how this is going to work is once a week I will ask you guys a new footballing topic and you submit your hot takes either on YouTube or TikTok, and then I react to them in a video just like this one. So let's see what crazy hot takes you guys have come up with for the Euro 2024. Serbia will make the quarters. Now this is a perfect one to start on because I don't personally agree with it, but it's not that crazy of a take. They were a lot of people's dark horses in the 2022 World Cup, and that didn't quite go to plan. They did come bottom of the group, but it was a tough group, and that's why I don't think it's going to happen in this Euros. They've got a very tough group with England, Denmark and Slovenia. Now I do think they will be able to get a win against Slovenia, maybe Denmark, but I think they will struggle against England. So I don't think they're going to struggle too much in the group, and they could easily get through, but it's the round of 16 game where they may come into some difficulties in my opinion. But they do have the likes of Vlahovic, Mitrovic, Kostic, Tadic. They've definitely got the talent, but it's whether in the big game they all step up together and knock out what's most likely going to be a big nation that they're facing. So if they come in second and proceed, they'll be facing a first place team. It's going to be a tough one, but I don't think it's the craziest hot take. I don't personally see them getting to the quarterfinals, but I would absolutely love it. I would love to see a game like Serbia beat France or something like that and give them a real tough test. I don't think you're crazy, but I don't personally see it. Ronaldo will win player of the tournament. And like I said, the Serbia one I don't think was that crazy. Whereas here, mate, I think you might have gone way too far. Not only do I not think Ronaldo won't win player of the tournament, I don't think he's going to even be in Portugal's starting lineup. He is going to go. He's too important of a player not to take. But I think his role will be off the bench in big games, getting 10, 20 minutes and being that crucial player. And he will also be a big involvement in the coaching, in the dressing room. But I do not think he's going to start. And I don't think if you're starting, there's any chance in the world that you win player of the tournament. And that's just the sad truth. I think Ronaldo's best Euros would have been the last one. That was his best opportunity. But the Portugal team is really strong now. I'm not sure if there's a place for Ronaldo in the starting 11. But like I said, I think he will come on. Let's say 10-15 minutes left, there's a draw, and I could definitely see him getting some goals. He's by far good enough, but I'm not sure if he's what Portugal need for a full 90 minutes. And for that reason, I don't think this hot take has any chance of happening. Wirtz will win player of the tournament. So from one player of the tournament to another, but there's a complete difference with this one, because I think Wirtz could actually be a really big underdog for a player of the tournament shout. And this is for a few reasons. Firstly, he's just come off an unbelievable season with Bayer Leverkusen. I don't need to talk about what they've achieved. Everyone knows about Bayer Leverkusen this season, and Wirtz was an integral part of their season. But also, because I think Germany might be massive, massive underdogs to go all the way and lift the trophy. This is because their team is so strong at the minute, so many young players, but also they're hosting, and that cannot be overlooked. Hosting a Euros, you have the fans on your side. It's a really big boost in those tough games. And if Germany do go all the way and win it, and Wirtz could be an integral part of their team as well as he was for the Leverkusen team. So I don't think it's the craziest shout ever. I think you've got to look at players like Musiala. He might outperform Wirtz, maybe Kimmich. But I don't think Wirtz being player of the tournament is the craziest thing I've heard this video. It's definitely more likely than Ronaldo in my opinion. England will struggle in the group stage. Now this is a comment that I had probably the most out of every single one, obviously because most of my fan base is England, so it makes sense. But I half agree, half disagree. Let me break that down for you. So the half of me that agrees is that I don't think England will do quite as well in performances as people are expecting. I do think they'll easily get through with at least 7 points, so at least 2 wins and a draw. But I do think they might struggle in certain games where you expect them to perform much better than they do. For example, Serbia, they may slip up and still win, but not look very comfortable. So in that sense, I think they could struggle in the group stage, but I do not think England will struggle in the group stage one bit in terms of topping the group and getting through. I've seen a lot of people say Denmark will top the group over them. And I mean, I know international tournament isn't always about player for player, but I think England's team now is way too good to come second in this Euro group. But I do agree with you in the fact that I think they may struggle in games like Denmark, and it may only be a 1-goal game or something like that, where players like Bellingham really struggle because they like double up on them. But I think we have way too much talent to not come top of this group undefeated. It should be absolutely easy to get 7 points. But I do agree with you. I think England will make it a bit more difficult than it should be. Croatia won't get out of the groups. Now, on the face of it, that isn't a massive hot take because they are in a group with Spain and Italy. But I think they actually will get through the group, and here's why. Remember, some third place teams still have a chance to go through. And in that group, the other team I think is Albania, so I think they can definitely get points against them. And I would not be shocked at all if they manage to get some points against either Spain or Italy. I think Spain will be very good, and I expect them to top the group. But I wouldn't be surprised if Italy slip up to Spain, maybe get a draw to Croatia, and Croatia actually find themselves in second or even a best third place spot. And for that reason, I think this is a hot take, and I think Croatia will have enough to get through to the round of 16. We can't forget, it was just 6 years ago they're in a World Cup final. I know what you're thinking, 6 years ago, that's so long. But it isn't when a lot of those players are still in and around the squad today. And I know they're 6 years older, but they've also got a lot of experience. I think in a group stage, that might be enough to see them in a top 3 place that would get them through. And remember, I'm not saying they're going to go and win the whole thing. I'm just saying I think they will have enough to get out of the group. Scotland will top the group. Now, this is one I've had so much. Not necessarily that they're going to top the group, but I've had they're going to reach the semis, they're going to win the entire thing, they're going to reach the quarters, they're going to get 0 points. I can't do a video like this and ignore the amount of comments I got about Scotland. So here are my thoughts. No, I do not think they're going to top the group. I think they stand 0% chance because I think Germany could potentially win the entire thing, like I said. And for that reason, I can't imagine Scotland will beat them in the group to that first place. However, to the ones who said they could get quarters, I think that's a lot more realistic. I think Scotland, that second and third place in their group is definitely up for grabs. And they've got enough good players that if the good Scotland shows up, there's no reason they can't come second or third and get through the best third place team. I think that's really realistic for Scotland. That should be their aim. I think with the group they've got, they should be aiming to make it to at least the round of 16. And for those who said quarters, if you're in the round of 16, you have every chance of making it to the next round. In a one-off game, anyone can beat anyone. It's just whether you can get to that one-off game. And McTominay, as much as United fans love to hate on him, and people is a bit of a meme, he is a good player. He could cause some issues for some defenders, his size alone. And they have a lot of good players. Let's not forget John McGinn as well, the Villa legend, just coming off a great season with them. I think this is a very likely possibility that they get through their group. But I think Scotland top in their group, mate, you're absolutely crazy for that shout. But you never know. You may prove me wrong. Belgium will make the semis, De Bruyne masterclass. Now, for this one, I think this is a hot take. I don't think Belgium will make the semis. It's very possible that they do. But in my opinion, we've waited too long for this Belgium side. De Bruyne might be that slightly bit too old now. Not in terms of quality, because we all know he's got that. But I am scared that he might pick up an injury in the group stage. He is getting a lot more injuries now. The last couple of seasons have not been anywhere near as good in terms of injuries. Obviously, whenever he plays, he's still best in the world midfielder. But is he going to be able to play that much for them? I hope he is, because who doesn't love watching De Bruyne when he's at his best? But in reality, Belgium's time might be past them. They've got a few youngsters coming through, like Doku could be a game changer for them, a bit of electricity on the wing. But I don't see it happening. I don't see Belgium having a great tournament. I think they at least make out their group. Their group isn't too bad, but I think either in the round of 16 or in the quarters they face someone that's just that slightly too good for them. But I don't think it's a crazy hot take, because De Bruyne could stay injury free, have an amazing tournament. We've seen what Lukaku can do with Belgium, and they could easily get to the semis, maybe the final. They've got the players to do so. It's just whether those players all show up injury free and are able to do it for a solid 5, 6, 7 games, however many they are needed for. And I don't personally see that happening. I don't think you're crazy though, but I don't think that one's happening. Netherlands will win the Euros. Now mate, I don't think you're crazy, but you might just be a little bit crazy. I don't think Netherlands can go all the way, but I mean their team is very good, especially defensively with Ake's development since the last big tournament. He's been an absolute standout player from the World Cup onwards. He's been an amazing player for City. Obviously Van Dijk seems to be back at his best. They've got a fit Courtois in goal by the looks of it. So they could be a really difficult team to beat. And they've obviously still got players like De Jong. They've got so much talent on the pitch, but I'm not sure if that talent is going to be enough to win them the entire Euros. If you are Dutch, do let me know down below. Do you think Netherlands could win the whole thing if you're putting a realistic hat on? Obviously, a bias. I'm an England fan. I'll always say England will win the whole thing. But in actual fact, I know it's a 50-50 at this point. I want us to at least get to the finals. What about you, Netherlands? What are your expectations this upcoming tournament? You've got a lot of good players, but how far do you realistically think you're going to get? I see Netherlands getting to either the quarters or semis. If I had to put money on it, I'm probably going... I could see them in the semis. I think they might be a bit of an underdog for a good little run, but I don't think it's going to be enough to see them win the entire thing. Do let me know if you do think that Netherlands will win, because I don't think that's a crazy take. I could almost see it in my head. I don't think it's going to happen, but there's definitely crazier takes we've had this video. But that is where we're leaving it for the first ever football hot takes. If you have enjoyed, make sure to like. Also comment, what was the worst take of the video? Was it one of the comments or was it something that I said? Do let me know down below. But if you do want your comment to appear next week's video, then make sure to comment on my TikTok and my YouTube shorts when I upload a video asking for your hot takes. And you never know, yours might just appear in next week's video. Thanks for watching and goodbye.